Hello and welcome to the fifth video in this series of 007's retirement reading and the fourth book. The fourth book is A Sailor's Tales. As you can see, I'm in a beautiful marina, the kind of marina that James Bond must hang around in, especially all the planes and helicopters. I don't know if you can hear that one flying around. But yeah, I really want to talk about this book. It's seen in a different publicity photo, the one you've just seen. A Sailor's Tales is what we might call in British English a matlow's dit. A matlow is somebody who works on ship. It's generally a crew member, a shipmate, because it comes from the French mat allure, friend of the sea. If your French is better than mine, comment below on my pronunciation or vocabulary mistakes potentially. And a dit comes from the word ditty, a short tale. So this is just a collection of short tales from an American writer. Again, we see it in James Bond's house. So I thought I'd have a quick look. And again, it's just a compilation of funny tales from the sea. He says in the introduction that if he was an angler, then it would be kind of the fish was this big kind of story. This is the kind of story you get from being at sea. And some of them are very, very relatable for me. I spent 3 years in the University Royal Naval Units, that's the Royal Naval Reserve, and one of them was brilliant. It's under the title An Early Humiliation. It is all about doing the man overboard exercises, which is a standard thing in navies across the world. You practice by throwing an object overboard. It could be a crate, it could be, as he suggests here, a life jacket, a box, a life ring. And then the man on the helm, his job is to bring the ship round at just the right angle and just the right distance that the man can be recovered despite the conditions of, say, spray, wind, and so on. There's a lot of complex factors, and he did the standard mistake, actually, what I know as the standard mistake. He kind of circled round and round and round, and eventually it took so long that the training officer said, "You're relieved, Mr. Robinson, your man overboard just drowned," because of course it is always timed. I did the exact same exercise when I was in the Navy, and I did the opposite mistake, actually. I watched loads and loads of people do this exact same thing, circling round and round and round, trying to get it absolutely right, being really careful about the distance. So I just powered in at the right speed, at the right angle, almost not the right distance. I killed my man overboard by hitting into him. But the second time, because I'd done it wrong, I'd just done it a shade too close, the second time I did it perfectly and did rather well, as opposed to circling round and round and round. On time, I was always great. But again, these kind of stories are fantastic. And the standard stuff among sailors, whether they're British, whether they're American, no matter where you're from. I really like that one of the stories is called No Time to Rest. The film coming up is No Time to Die, so I'm amused that that's one of the stories. So yeah, A Sailor's Tales by Bill Robinson. This seems to be the exact kind of thing that a former naval officer should have in his home. I have it in my home. I do have it in my home, and it's the perfect thing for a, say, side table, pick up, have a read. These stories are like a page or a page too long. I think this is a great book. So we've looked at 4 different books over the last week. The question was, are these the kind of books that James Bond should have in his house? 4 out of 4, yes. Do they have some kind of clue for the film? Well, 3 of them are very distinctly about the past, different narratives, different perspectives on how we think about the past. This is all tales about the past. I guess most books apart from science fiction, are about the past. But those 3 go into real deep dive on how we think about the past. This one, just a collection of fun tales. And incidentally, the first one is about going from the United States to Nassau, which is a popular James Bond location. So yeah, fantastic book. I was very pleased with this one. In fact, 4 out of 4, I've enjoyed them all. I'd recommend all of them to you.